I think the first thought for me is I'm extremely proud of my team. I thought we played very hard and we played well enough to win outside of the fact that we had some chances offensively and didn't score. And so we had a layup to tie it. We had a couple other opportunities where the ball didn't go in. And you know, I'm extremely proud of my team. We're not far off. We're close. We're close. And it's a play here, a play there. Certainly changes everything. So obviously they're very, very good. Even without Anderson, I think they're, you know, they just are poised, very mature team that doesn't get rattled, and you got to give those guys a lot of credit. They're upperclassmen. They play like it, and they did a nice job. So we're going to get regrouped and move on. But I'm proud of my team, and I like how we're competing. We're just not. We're just short. We're just a hair short here and there. Questions?
Coach, I want to ask you about their offensive rebounding. You know, they only send 2 guys to the glass, and I'm not picking on you because they hurt Carolina as well. But they had 15 offensive rebounds, and you only had 20 defensive rebounds. In a game like this, where there's so many missed shots and so few possessions, how big was that?
Well, it's big, and what happened a lot of times is we're doubling in the post, and you know, as we rotate, it forces the guard sometimes to be in there one-on-one with their other post player, and you know, I think we took away some post moves and some one-on-one opportunities in the post, and probably what we gave away then was some offensive rebounding. And so we talked about that being a key, and our guards had to do a better job today rebounding, but so does our big guys. You know, we had some opportunities to get some rebounds and didn't. Stood around there watching it once or twice, and that wasn't good enough.
Did your upcoming road trip consist of trips to Louisville, Virginia Tech, and Carolina? How much pressure does this loss put on your team with the playoff implications?
Well, Virginia Tech is here, so
My apologies.
that's all right. Well, I think every game is massively important. We know it. You know, we don't have our head in the sand. You know, we've put ourselves behind in a great way, and now we've got to figure out how to, you know, finish in a flurry. So we know where we are. We've got very difficult games. Doesn't get any easier. The schedule's not going to get easier. But you know, one thing we're not going to do is pout and make excuses and blame others. And we're going to get better. That's the bottom line. That's got to be our objective.
Mark, just obviously the entire campus is grieving over what happened, but for Malik it's intensely personal. Did you say anything to him or counsel him in any way about playing tonight?
Well, just talked to him, just asked him if he was okay and how, and he said he was okay. I mean, I think this morning early, the first thought obviously was the unknown of what actually happened. And because of his faith, I think even my first thought was, you know, you don't know if somebody's out there targeting, you know, somebody of that faith. That was the scary part for me early this morning when I first heard it. And for Malik, he's a high-profile guy that, you know, right here. So I think once we learned the circumstances of actually what happened, obviously very sad, very tragic. And Malik was hurting, but you know, I thought you know, he said he wanted to play and said he was okay, and I know he knew those people very well, or pretty good a little bit, went to their wedding. So again, very sad and so unnecessary. Just breaks your heart. So anyway, I thought he did fine though tonight.
Coach, it seemed like tonight you guys played better defense than you have in the past couple of weeks. What was the biggest difference tonight, do you think, that let you guys play pretty good defense?
Oh, I don't know if there's one thing. I just thought we really defended them pretty well. I thought we had them scouted pretty well. We know their guys, their tendencies. They're obviously very good. But our guys were locked in there. They competed really hard, and so, you know, we defended them well enough to win. We just got to make some more shots. You know, we're struggling a little bit, or did tonight from the three-point line. Went 3 for 17. A couple of those, you know, were pump faking and hesitating, and we just got to rise up and shoot it. So anyway, we just got to be a little better there.
Ralston labored
Yep.
for 30 minutes, it looks like here.
Yep.
How would you describe what's wrong with his?
Tough, had a tough game, he struggled, you know, fifth-year senior, late in the year. I know he's kind of nursing a sore knee, and I'm trying to hold him out of practice as much as I can. And you know what happens a lot of times, it's difficult to be sharp when you don't practice. So then it gets to the point where how much do you practice? Because when you practice, your knee swells up, and so it's kind of a fine line there. It's hard to stay sharp as a player. So we're going to have to figure that one out here in the next couple of weeks of what to do with Ralston. I think he has struggled. He struggled tonight, and obviously we need him to make some shots. And he goes 2 for 9, 0 for 6 from 3. That's going to be hard for us.
Malik hit a couple free throws, I think it was after the under 8 timeout to put you up 2.
Yeah.
And then there was a phase where I think they scored 7 in a row. You
Yeah.
called a timeout.
Yeah.
You righted the ship. You
Yeah.
got right back in the game. But what transpired in a game like this with so few possessions?
Yeah.
What are the things that you were trying to correct that took place?
Well, I think we need to settle down. We had to settle down. I thought that defensively we had a couple missed assignments. We actually got it to 1, you know, on the play there. We get it to 1-point game. Momentum is clearly, I think, in our favor after BJ's dunk. And then we get the flagrant foul with Caleb. I've watched the tape. I have great respect for the crew, but I disagree with the call. I thought Caleb was trying to avoid running into him. He lowered his shoulder only because he was trying to move to his left to get out of the way. And we go from being down 1 to down 5. And in a game of this magnitude, at that point in the game, that is just huge. It's just monumental. So, you know, I'm allowed to disagree. I've already watched it, so I'm clear in what I'm saying, and do not think that was a flagrant one, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But again, I've got, you know, Brian Kersey. I think he's one of the better officials in the country, top 5 guy in the nation. So he saw it a little bit differently.
Mark, you guys obviously poured it out
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
After the Pitt game, you really
Yeah.
used the crop on these guys. I'm guessing you take a different approach to try to get their attention before Louisville this weekend.
Well, I told our team after the game, first of all, we're not going to hang our head. We're not going to hang our head. I'm proud of our effort. We're not far off. We're close. We're close. We're right there. And we don't need to reinvent, you know, who we are. We don't need to, you know, do drastic things. We just got to get a little better, just a little bit better. And obviously, you know, you got to make some shots. And that sounds simple, but, you know, I watched the Duke-Virginia game, and Duke is at Virginia, and late in the game, they rise up and hit 2 or 3 threes, and it goes from tied to up 4, and, you know, it's a different game. And in this kind of game, it's just a matter of a couple plays here and there, a couple plays. So we're going to get ready to play at Louisville, and I'm not going to let these guys get their head down. We're going to keep competing. They've competed pretty hard most every night. Really, back in October, they had no expectations for this group to do much of anything, and we're not far off. We're close. So we just got to stay with it and get a little bit better.
Anything else, Coach?